Oh, Libby Lips, I hope I'm going to be able to get this story done now for you. Right, this was the story I wanted to tell you about. It's about Franklin and how he goes to hospital. So let's see. There's a picture of Franklin, and he was always a very healthy little boy like you. He never went to the doctor. He was always healthy, and if he got sick, his mommy and daddy would make him better. But let's see what happens. Franklin sometimes got coughs and colds, and his tummy was aching, but he never really ever had to go into hospital. Then one day, Franklin and his friends were playing soccer, and the ball kicked and hit Franklin hard in the chest. Oh, he groaned, but he kept on playing. That night at bath time, Franklin said, "Ouch!" when he dried his tummy. His mommy took a closer look. She said, "We'll have to go to the doctor first thing tomorrow." So there they are playing soccer. Oh, and the ball gets kicked and it hits him straight in his shell. And then mommy says, can't do this. We have to go straight to the doctor. They went to visit Dr. B. "It isn't serious, Franklin," he said, "but I have to put a pin into your shell. And you will have to have an operation in the hospital tomorrow." "Will it hurt?" Franklin said. "No, we will give you some medicine before the operation, and then you will stay here overnight." So he says, "Oh, is it going to be sore?" And he says, No. We'll give you medicine and then you stay overnight." So he was a little bit frightened about going to hospital. And then Franklin had to go and tell his friends he was going to hospital. And they wanted to know, "Hey, Franklin, are you scared of going to hospital?" And Franklin said, "Not really." So he was pretending to be very brave. It was early when Franklin's mommy and daddy left for the hospital, but he took his blue blanket with him. And he had Sam in his arms. That's his little toy dog. He said goodbye to his room. And then Mommy said to him, "Don't worry, Franklin, you will be back tomorrow." And Mommy said to Franklin, "You really are a brave little turtle." So there they are, getting ready to go. And there's Franklin saying goodbye to his room. At the hospital, Franklin was given a bracelet just like you were, Libby. And then a wheelchair, also like you, Libby. And then Franklin was pushed to his own room. So there he is at the hospital, and they're taking him in the wheelchair just like they took you. A nurse gave Franklin a special gown to wear. Then she took his temperature like they do with you, Libby Lips. And then his heart, they measured. And then she rubbed some cream on his hand. "You're a very brave little turtle," said the nurse. So there he is with Sam, and he's in his hospital bed. Not such a fancy one like you. And the nurse even says to him, "Wow, but you're so brave, Franklin." There, like your mommy, there's his mommy waiting with him. And when you didn't have mommy, you had daddy waiting with you. Soon the attendant came and took him for an x-ray. "I need to know where the pin must go," said the doctor. "I don't want an x-ray," said Franklin. "But X-rays don't hurt, said Dr. Bear. The machine only takes pictures of what's inside of you. I don't want, said Franklin, and he started to cry. So there, he's going to have his X-ray like you did, and he said, I don't want an X-ray. And then Dr. Bear said, but they don't, I don't want it. Dr. Bear sat down beside Franklin. Please tell me what's wrong, she said. Franklin sniffed. Everybody thinks I'm brave, but I'm not. I'm just pretending. Will the X-ray show I'm scared inside? Oh, Franklin, said Dr. Bear. An X-ray doesn't show your feelings. It only shows your shell and your bones. You mean nobody will know that I'm scared, he said. No one, said Dr. Bear. But just because you're frightened doesn't mean you aren't brave. Being brave means doing what you have to do, even if you feel a little bit scared. And there's the doctor saying, you don't have to worry about the X-ray. It won't show us that you are scared. But there, it will show us your bones, like you saw your bones. There's the X-ray of the bones. Franklin thought for a moment. Well, I am scared to have the operation, but I know I have to have my shell mended so it can grow big and strong. Dr. Bear smiled. That's being brave, my boy. Franklin let out a deep sigh. I'm ready now, he said. So now he speaks to the doctor and he says, okay, I'm ready now. You can do my X-ray. When the X-ray was done, Franklin was taken to the waiting room. We aren't allowed in the operating room, said Father, but we will wait for Franklin here when he recovers. And soon Dr. Bear came to get Franklin and give Mommy and Daddy a kiss and wave as he went through the doors. Okay, so the doctor came to take him for his operation now. And he waved to Mommy and Daddy, and they stayed there, and he went and had his operation. He is really brave, eh? Then he had his operation, and it was time for him to wake up. Wake up, Franklin, said a voice. Franklin didn't want to wake up. He was having such a nice sleep. But I'm finished operating, said Dr. Bear with a laugh. Okay, so he didn't want to wake up now because the medicine had made him very tired. And Dr. Bear said, you got to wake up. Then they took Franklin back to his room. He walked slowly and he looked at the mirror and he looked at his bandages. I guess it'll be a while before I can play soccer again, he said. And Dr. Bear said, no, you're going to heal very quickly. Right, and boy, Dr. Bear said, you are such a good patient. And Franklin smiled. So there the doctor's showing him all his bandages and things. And now Franklin's worried he can't play soccer. And the doctor says, no, you're a strong, strong tortoise. You'll be able to play. That night, after Franklin's mum and dad had gone home, Dr. Bear came to see him. I have something to show you, Franklin, she said. And she held up the X-ray. Is that me? He asked. Dr. Bear nodded. That's you, she said. And you are brave through and through. So she came and showed him his X-rays and his bones, and they could only see his bones. They couldn't see he was scared, And she said, how brave you are through and through. And you know what, Libby Lipster? I think you are brave through and through. Guinea's seen you in hospital, and Guinea's seen them give you all the medicine, and you've eaten your food beautifully. And you have taken your medicine beautifully. So I think Libby Lipster is a very brave little girl too. Love you lots, my sweetheart, and I hope this story does play for you. Bye, chicken.